Okay. So find the square root of 6 to 50. Hmm. So the square root of that, I'm getting 2,500. Please, you should know this is plus or minus. So minus 200. So from here we can do kill1 by assuming it is plus. So minus 4,500 plus 2,500 all divided by minus 200. So kill1 becomes 4,500 minus. So Q1 becomes minus 2000 divided by minus 200. So 2000 divided by 200, I'm getting 10. So this will cancel this. This will go here 10 times. So 10. That's Q1 is equal to 10. Now, to get Q2 too, I'll say is equal to minus 4,500. But this time I assume it is minus 2,000. So divided by 200, I'm getting minus 6,500 divided by minus 200. Oh, it's not going there. Okay, let me try and squeeze it here. So I'm getting minus 6,500 divided by minus 200. And that is what? This cancels this. So this will go here 32.5. So our Q2 is equal to 32.5. So the output levels at which we are breaking even is either 10 or 32.5. Please, that's the B. Please, do you have any question with that? Hello? Hello?
From the beginning, like the Q equals to is a minus B plus, and that no, yeah, yeah. Is it plus or minus?
Plus or minus? So you do for plus. That's why I did Q1 and Q2. So you
So
do
you
for
do for
plus.
plus and then you do for minus.
Yes.
Mm. Mm.
That's why we will get two answers. Please, you understand?
Okay.
Okay. Now, so when you get this, these are the output levels at which we are breaking even. So it means that when we produce 10 quantities, we will not make any loss. And when we produce 32 and a half, we will not make any loss. Please, you understand?
Yes.
And neither will we make profits because we are breaking even. Breaking even means no profit, no loss. Okay. Now, the C is saying that the value of Q that will result in a loss of 60,000. Please, with that, it means that you are going to do everything again. They want you to do everything again. You see, I told you that when we are targeting a profit, you add that profit to the fixed cost, isn't it? In break-even analysis,
Yes.
I told you that when you are targeting a profit, maybe you want to achieve, you know that this is one way of doing break-even. Also, break even in terms of quantity by formula is the fixed cost divided by what? Contribution per what? Unit. And I'm saying that if you are targeting a profit, you add the profit to the fixed cost. So if you are targeting a loss, you do what? You subtract that loss from the fixed cost. Please, you understand?
Yes.
So that's the same thing. So if we are going to add the profit to the fixed cost, it means that the fixed cost here, we add the profit to there. So if there is a loss, we do what? We subtract the loss. So it means that the only thing that will be affected will be the total cost, whereby we add profit or subtract loss. So the total cost function will change to a new total cost function. That's the 35,000 minus the loss we are anticipating. And that loss was what? 60,000. So if you are anticipating a loss of 60,000, we subtract it plus our 500 Q. So when we subtract, what do we get? We get minus 25,000 plus 500 Q to be the new total cost function. So if this is the new total cost function, we know that at break even, total revenue is equal to total cost. So we equate the two. So we know our total revenue to be 5,000 Q minus 100 Q squared being equal to what? Our new total cost. So here from here we bring everything to one side so that we equate it to 0, then we use the quadratic equation formula. So everything here will come there, will come this way. So from here we are getting 5,000 Q. Now this is 500, so when it's coming it becomes minus 500 because it's positive. When it's crossing the equal to sign, it becomes minus. Then we get our 100 Q squared minus, now this is minus, the 25,000 is minus. So when it comes, we get plus 25,000 equals 0. So when we group like terms, we are getting minus 100 Q squared minus, sorry, 5,000 minus 500 will give us 4,500 Q. Then plus 25,000 being equal to 0. So this becomes our new equation. So we use the same formula, minus b plus, sorry, Q being equal to minus b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Please, you understand? Hello?
Hi.
Hi, Paul.
Yeah.
Please, are you following?
Yes.
So our a becomes what? Minus 100. The b becomes 4,500. Then the c, 25,000. Okay. So from here, we continue. Let me go it here. Let me do it here. So we get Q1 to be minus 4,500 plus or minus 4,500 squared minus 4 into brackets minus 100 brackets 25,000, all divided by 2 into brackets minus 100. So Q1, this will give us minus 4,500 plus or minus 4,500 squared minus 4 into brackets minus 100 brackets 25,000. I'm getting 30,000 square root of 30,250,000 minus 200. So 2 times 100, negative 100 give you minus 200. So Q1 here becomes Q1 becomes what do we get for Q1? So minus 4,500. So plus, we use a plus first. Okay, so 30,000, the root of 30,500. Sorry, 30,250,000 is 5,500 divided by minus 200. And that will give us 1,000. So 1,000 divided by minus 200 will give us minus 5. 1,000 divided by 200. Yeah. So minus 5. So when we produce negative 5, we will make a loss. And also, when we produce, you see, I said it's plus or minus. So we use plus. So we have to use a minus. So here we get this plus this 4,500 plus 5,500. That's 10,000 minus 10,000 divided by minus 200. So this cancels this. 10,000 divided by 200 is giving us 50. So when we could produce 52, we will make a loss of 60,000. Please, any question?
So do we need to use both, like the minus and the plus, or we need to choose one?
The minus or the plus?
Because we are getting two answers.
So please, you know that we
Is
can't
this supposed
produce
to be
a
like this?
negative quantity. So the positive answer that we got should be the answer. You see,
Mm.
that's why I said the loss of 60,000 is as a result of 50. No, I didn't say the negative was the answer. Even though we are
Okay.
getting a negative answer, but I said it's the positive. But you see the other one, they were all positive. The two answers we got were all positive. Where are they? Yes, 10 and 32.5. So both of them are correct because they are all positive. We are producing quantity, so we don't have something like we produce negative. But well, someone can
Okay.
justify the negative that they produced, but they were not in proper condition, so they got spots. But we assume that everything we produced was in right this thing or in its right state. So this is the question 5. Do you have any struggle with it or any issue with it? Hello?
Mm. I'll go through the videos again. When you send it, I'll go through it and then get it well.
Okay, so that's the question 5.
Paul,
Yes, please, I'm listening.
so with the break-even analysis, when you see the question for for profit function and break-even, you get to know that the question is a break-even analysis question, right?
Yes.
Okay.
This is one way it can come. Please let me go over this thing again. Let me try going over it again. I'm saying that to break even, you need your total revenue and your total cost. So it's either they'll give it to you or you find it. Like this, total cost, total revenue was given in this question, but total cost was not given. So we find it. And I'm telling you that total revenue, even the first optimization question, we learned how to find total revenue. I'm telling you that it's the price times the quantity. So if they give you the price, you just multiply it by Q, which is quantity, to get your total revenue. But here they've done it for you. Even from here, I can tell the price, but it's not interest. I'm not interested in that. That's why I didn't really explain it. Because when I factorize out Q, I can see that price will be 5,000 minus 100 Q. So that's the price function. But that's not my interest. My interest is still on total revenue. And okay, I'll teach you so that even it will make the last question much more easier. Okay, it will make the last question much more easier. Now, I'm saying that break even is total revenue being equal to total cost. So if you are given the total revenue, when you get your total revenue and you get your total cost function, which I know that now you guys know how to get it. Total cost. I told you that they'll give you a total fixed cost to be 35,000 and they'll give you the unit variable cost. So you multiply the unit variable cost by quantity, which is obvious Q, so that it gets your 500 Q as your total variable cost. So you add your total variable cost to your total fixed cost, then you get what? Your total cost. So for profit, profit is equal to your total revenue minus total cost. That's the A. Says find the profit function. If they don't ask you to find profit function, it's not really important that you find it because the question didn't require it of you. So if the question asks you to find profit function, that's when you find. But if you are not required, don't do it. You are wasting time. So this question is requiring it. So profit is your total cost, total revenue minus your total cost. So I brought the total revenue, which is 5,000 K minus 100 K squared, minus the total cost, 35,000 plus 500 K. Please, from here, if you don't understand anything here, it means that it's either you don't understand your indices, your integers. That's the negative, positive, those things. Okay. You know that when there is negative in front of a bracket, it means that the negative is affecting everything in the brackets in mathematics. So here, the negative will affect the 35,000, will affect the 500. That's why both here are negatives. From here, you just group like things so that the 500 will be subtracted from the 5,000 and you get your profit function. And you see this is the profit function. And I told you at break even, profit is equal to 0. So you equate the profit to 0, then you find the profit using this formula, the general quadratic equation. So you just insert the value, insert the values. And I told you that the A is equal to the negative 100 because that's the coefficient of Q squared. The B becomes the 4,500 because it is the coefficient of Q. And the C is the constant number or the fixed cost. So it becomes negative 35,000. Please, you understand? So all these are normal mathematics. So when you go over again, you would understand. Okay. Now, I wanted to show you something. So let me see if I can show you. I'm saying that total revenue is equal to what? 5,000 kil minus 100 kil squared. And we know total revenue is equal to the selling price times quantity. So if I factorize out the quantity, I'll get 5,000 minus 100 kil times kil. So this becomes my what? Selling price. So selling price becomes 5,000 kil minus kil. And we got the break-even quantities as 10 and 32.5. If you remember, the kil 1 and 2. From the first one, not the lost on this, we got 10 and 32.5. So from here, we put 10 in the function, 5,000 minus 100 into bracket 10. So when we put 10 here, we will get our selling price to be 4,000. And also when we put, that's the first selling price. When we put 32.5 in the second one, we'll get 1,000 1,750. Now these are two different selling prices. So if we want to break even, please, you know that our break even quantity, break even in terms of quantity, is equal to your fixed cost divided by what? Your contribution per unit. And this is contribution per unit, selling price minus variable cost. So the break even quantity 1 becomes the first cost, which is 35,000, divided by the first selling price, 4,500, minus the variable cost, which is 500. And please, what will we get for that? 35,000 divided by 4,000 minus 500. Please, what are we getting? I'm getting 10.
Amen.
You see, I've confirmed the 10 I got. If I do the same for the second one, you see that I'll get the same 32.5. Look at 4,000 minus 1,750. You see that I'll get the same 32,500. Sorry, 30. I said 32,500. I'll get the same 32.5. See. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. Sorry. I did selling price 1 minus selling price 2. It should be selling price 2 minus the variable cost per unit. Okay. So 1,750 minus 500. 20.
28.
Yeah, this time around I'm getting 28, which means something is wrong somewhere.
Mm.
28. Please, I'm coming. Let me check something. 5,000 minus 100 brackets 32.5. Or why am I getting 28? Okay, I know what I shouldn't get 28, but I want to use this to explain something. So with the loss question, this one is not even relevant, but I wanted to use it to explain something. So with the loss, what I was saying is that to get break-even quantity, okay, it is your total fixed cost plus the targeted profits. If it is a profit, we add it, divided by what? Your contribution per unit. But this instance is a loss, so we subtract. Okay, so what we get here becomes our 35,000 minus our, how do we call it? Our 60,000. That was the loss, divided by the 4,000 minus 500. That's the first one. Let me see. Oh, Paul lends Peter 850, sorry, 180,000. Peter is to pay whatever amount he has not paid back at a rate of 8% per annum for the first year, 10% per annum for the second year, and 12% per annum for the third year, and 15% per annum for the fourth year. Okay, so he's saying that Paul lends to Peter 180,000. Now, Peter is to pay whatever amount he has not paid back at a rate of 8% per annum for the first year, 10% per annum for the second year, 12% per annum for the third year, 15% per annum for the fourth year. Peter pays 60,000 at the end of the first year. Sorry, Peter pays 60,000 at the end of the first 3 years and has to pay off the debt and interest at the end of the fourth year. How much is his final payment? Please, this question, I'm sure they are testing your knowledge on time value of money. So let's try and see something. But I still don't understand the question. But this is how I would solve it, though. Says that the principal, that's the amount borrowed, is 180,000. And yeah, year one, he's paying a rate at 8% of that same amount. Okay, year one, the rate is 8%. Year two, the rate is 12%, or okay, 10. Year three was 12. Then year four was 15%. Now, when we are looking, this is what we call a present value. He took the money in today's term. So that's the year zero. That has a present value. So we are going to use the future value formula. Future value is equal to your present value 1 plus r to the power n. This formula, it looks like the compound interest formula. That's the principal is equal to r over n. It looks like that same formula. It's the same thing even, but just that there are modifications. Okay, this is the formula we are going to use. So year one, he is supposed to pay 180,000 into brackets 1 plus 0.08, that's 8% to the power 1. So that's year one. So year one becomes 180,000 brackets 1.008, sorry, 1.08 to the power 1, and that will give us what? So someone can be doing the calculation for us. Year 2, you will pay 10%, so 180, 1 plus 1, 2. 10% is 1 plus 0.1. When you add it, you get what? 1.1 all squared. So that's year 2, and year 3 will be 180,000. That's 1.12 squared. Sorry, cube. Sorry. Now they are saying that at the end of the 3 years, the total should be 60,000. That's the total amount he has paid was 60,000. Yeah, I don't know whether it's true or not, but that's what they are saying. That's what they are saying. So year one, please, someone should be doing the calculations alongside.
Year one is 194,400.
194,400. Year two,
I'm still doing it.
okay. 217,800. And year three, is 1.12 to the power 3.